Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and in this video I'm going to show you how to make a tassel using ultra suede fabric. Now I have an example of use here, and this I created. This is just a gorgeous purse charm. So you can see I have a really big lobster clasp here, and I have a little ring focal, and that's a quatrefoil, and I have several different tassels here, and this would just look really cute on a little purse, and they just kind of swing and dance. And I've used a couple of different colors, and I've actually used a pattern ultra suede here, which is the one I'm going to show you how to do today. So you can use this in a lot of different jewelry techniques and in many accessories and crafts as well. So to do this, I'm going to be using a hammered brass bead cap here. I have some E6000 that I'm going to be using, and you're just going to need a little piece of paper or something to cover your surface because we're going to pour that glue out. And I'm going to be using a couple of toothpicks and a pair of snips or scissors. And I have a ruler here. So let me go ahead and show you what we're going to be working with. Now to create these particular tassels, you can create them in any size you want, but the ones that I created here, I used a strip that was about 3 inches long and 2 inches wide here. So we sell our ultra suede in a couple of different sizes, so you can cut it to whatever you desire. But I'm gonna go ahead and sort of just snip and measure right at about 3 inches. Right there, okay. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to flip my work over, and I'm just going to cut straight across so I have a 2 by 3 inch piece to work with. All right. So you can cut either using this side or this side, but I'm going to show you cutting on this side just so that it'll be a little bit easier to see. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to curl it up and put it into my bead cap, but before I do that I want to cut the fringe. So I'm just going to take my snips, and I'm going to start by just doing about a 1/4 of an inch little slice going up my ultra suede, and depending on your bead cap you want to go about less than, I'd say, a 1/2 inch, about a 1/4 inch, maybe 3/8 of an inch up to the top. What you want to do though is just kind of gauge on your bead cap that that cut will be hidden, but you don't want to go too close to the top so that it'll cut right off. So you just keep going and you create your little fringe. You want your little slits here, your little fringe slits, to be about the same size, going all the way across. And again, when you get up towards that top there, you just want to make sure that you snip just enough so that it stays attached. So I'm going to continue and go all the way across here, and then I'm going to show you how to wrap it up and finish off the tassel. Okay, so I am just finishing up my last cut here. And there we go. So now I have my fringe ready to go, and as you can see it's all attached at the top there, which is exactly what you want. And now because I have the pattern side and I want to get that going on the outside of my tassel, you could sort of do a peekaboo tassel if you wanted to, go it the other way. But I'm going to go ahead and start by just curling up the end here and just rolling it in on itself, just like a little cinnamon roll. And you want it to be fairly tight at the top. So you just keep rolling it all the way across, making sure that end stays nice and even. And don't worry too much about your fringe that's going everywhere now. All right. And so it should look like a nice little tight little cinnamon roll at the top there. All right. Perfect. Looking good. All right, so now the tricky part comes. Go ahead and pour out a little bit of your E6000 onto your table or onto your little sticky note or whatever you have. And what you're gonna do is sort of hold your little well of the bead cap, get a little bit of that E6000 onto your toothpick, and just kind of swirl it around, getting it in there. Now these particular bead caps that I'm using do have a little tiny hole at the top, so you don't want to put too much glue in at the bottom, but you want to make sure that it's going to be nice and coated. I'm just going to kind of wipe off my little stick there right on top there. Perfect. All right, and now just go ahead and place your bead cap on top. And as you're placing it in, just kind of swirl it down so you can kind of get all that glue in those little pockets. There we go. And just give it a nice little press down. And you can see I'm getting a little glue come out that top there, but that is all right. We can clean that up later. If you're using a bead cap that doesn't have a hole, it's also going to be good that you can clean up any glue that might come out the bottom here, but I don't have any spillage of that just yet. All right, so now we have our cute little tassel, and he will need a little bit of time to dry. I'd say at least 24 hours before doing anything that's weight bearing on the other side. So we can kind of set him aside, and if you're making multiple tassels, it's a great way to just kind of lay them all out, and then the next day you can come back and finish your piece and put it all together. So there you have it. That is how easy it is to make a tassel using Ultra Suede fabric. Be sure to check out all of the styles and colors of Ultra Suede fabric that we have here at Beadaholique.com.